Hey guys, what's going on? Mike Fieldcraft Survival, back in the van. I could say bang bus, but I didn't want to be inappropriate, so I won't say that. All right, so look, we are talking about inside the waistband holsters today. And I want to show you guys one of our new holsters before our new holster drops. Does that make sense? Like it's the in-between. This is our foundational holster. We partner with a good company and bringing you a staple holster that's reliable, repeatable, and also we can keep up with the demand. Let me first educate you a little bit about the Kydex market, because I've been in the market for a little while now, and the business that is Kydex is messy. So this is a piece of plastic. How this is typically made is it's folded, it's typically molded using some heat process, and then you have the form factor that is a friction held holster. Then you take some clips, you put it on with screws, and then you got a product. Very simple, but we don't need an overcomplicated solution to a very simple problem, which is how do I carry my handgun safely without shooting myself in the crotch? And that's, hey, let's go with that. Glock 17, which is a full-size pistol, 9mm, semi-automatic, single-action only pistol made by Glock. This is a single-action only pistol, which means it doesn't have an external mechanism to prevent it from being fired when you pull the trigger. Now, technically it does, because it has this trigger safety right here, which is this little latch that prevents the sides of it being hit and it dropping the trigger. But if you have this in your purse and you have one in the chamber, then that would be kind of reckless, because if you're walking around and this trigger gets bumped and it shoots the trigger or shoots the gun by you pulling the trigger, that's negligent and that's not very safe. So we need a means of holding or shrouding the trigger guard in order for this to be a safe pistol to carry. Hence, Kydex. Now, one of the problems inherently with Kydex as a business is the scale is very predictable. You make more holsters because you're creating a demand signal, then you have to increase your supply. More machines, more people, and technically more problems. So what we did is we partnered with a company that was going to allow us to heavily market this product in something that's, again, reliable and repeatable. I have a new holster that we're dropping this spring that I can't talk about. It's top secret, it's classified, it has proprietary patents and all this cool stuff. But what I don't like about plastic is, depending on the process, if it's a people process, you get inconsistency. Now there's quality control, there's a whole bunch of things that you could do to mitigate that, but essentially there's distributors who distribute the Kydex equipment, and that comes from a couple places. When you go on these places, you get the same plastic, the same screw sets, and the same clips. We decided to work with a company that has standalone processes and takes the people out of the process, which doesn't mean it's not made in America still. It's still made in America, but it reduces the chances of mistakes being made, which to me means more reliability in the product. One of the things we decided to do is go with sprung steel clips instead of plastic clips. Plastic is inherently flawed. If it's in the heat, if it's continuing to go back and forth, it's going to cause issues. We need to make sure that doesn't happen, because this is a life-saving piece of equipment that's super important. I recommend everybody carry Appendix Carry, which is offset of the center of your buckle. Now that's pretty easy to put into position and form, but also I like carrying my pistol centerline. So if this Glock was centerline, it would be in the middle of my waist, allowing for the grip not to be exposed to the edge of my hip, potentially giving away signature. I don't want to print and show everybody that I have concealed. So this is easy to stow either centerline by offsetting your belt buckle, or slightly offset, which is true appendix, where your appendix actually is, and then reliably draw the pistol in all ways. One of the cuts that we kept is the ability to still see in an admin reload, press checking your gun to make sure you have one in the chamber, and even being able to load and unload the gun by having access to the mag release. So I could technically drop the magazine, extract the round, clear the gun without removing the pistol from the holster. Well, Mike, why would that be important? Well, there's some places that you're not going to take a concealed carry pistol. All right, so let's say you're going from one location to another and you can't carry your pistol. Well, the ability for you to be able to keep this retained is important. Let's say you keep it in your waistband. You should keep it in your waistband when you're inside of a vehicle because you should be able to draw the pistol and keep the holster in your pants. That's what she said. That's because the alternative is you take it out, keeping the Kydex on the pistol and put it in your center console. Well, that would require you to open the center console, access the pistol, and then remove it from the Kydex. Too many actions, too many movements. When you could stow it in your waistband and have this ready. Now, let's say you can't carry the pistol and you have to put it in the center console. Well, you take it off, you remove it, you stow it away. Well, you get back into the car. And let's say you get back into the car with your girlfriend, spouse, significant other, friend, bro, whatever it is. You always want to assume that if you leave the gun behind, that you don't know the status of the gun. So when you pick up that gun, you have to check the status. Don't assume. I would never want to assume or have in the back of my head that I'm not sure if this gun's loaded or not. Well, Mike, it's obviously loaded because you loaded it before and you kept it in there. Well, that's an assumption. Did somebody come in, mess with my gun? Did my girlfriend, when I wasn't looking, do something? When it only requires a specific administrative check, a press check to ensure that you have one in the chamber and the magazine is appropriately loaded. So you go in, you remove the magazine, you check how many rounds, you insert, you push, you pull, you press check the gun, make sure it's good, there's one in the chamber, you release manually, you push on the back of the slide. Now I know 100% that I'm good. But this reduces you having to remove the holster in and out again and again. So I like that capability because I want to keep it in and prevent doing this constantly. In fact, statistically, the accident that's most likely to happen is going to be on the draw stroke, pulling it out, or putting it away. Most often, the most accidental discharge is by putting the pistol away and stowing it into the holster. So let's prevent that by being able to lock, load, unload, press check, and do everything you need to do while keeping it retained. These holsters will be available soon from fieldcraftsurvival.com. If not right now, make sure you check fieldcraftsurvival.locals.com for premier content, which means training content to make you, your family, and your community better prepared. Until next time, stay alert, stay alive.